how did you manage to raise the first round?
Yeah, sure. So you have to remember it was the beginning of 2022. So it was before the market started cooling down and we moved from a bull to a bear market. At that time, I was thinking about my next steps in my career. And also Eilon, who previously was a CTO and co-founder at a company called Sayeret Network, which is a pretty well-known cybersecurity company. They raised tens of millions of dollars, millions of dollars in revenue. Thinking about his next step. I came, as I said, with some background from the Web3 and crypto space, and I could see what companies in the space were struggling with. Also, angel invested in a few companies in the space. And Eilon, during the years, was very intrigued by the crypto and blockchain industry, participated in a few DAOs and IDOs, and of course, built a few projects on his own. And when we started talking, it was very clear to us that our goal is to build a company in the Web3 space, B2B enterprise-grade software solution that is heavy on data. And we started looking into that space and talking to different companies. We saw there was a really interesting gap when it comes to finance and treasury management. And the reason is that CFOs in that space usually were not crypto native. So for them to kind of get a grip of what's happening inside their financial parameter, okay? And I'm just going to talk about what I mean when I say financial parameter. If you think about cybersecurity, as a company, you have a bunch of endpoints, and you have kind of a security parameter which involves all your endpoints and everything that's happening inside your network. That is also like the equivalent of your financial parameter when you have a bunch of different wallets and exchanges and smart contracts where you store value. Okay, so for you to understand what's happening inside your financial parameter, it's very, very difficult. And if you're on crypto native, you don't understand what's happening, what's DeFi, and what are different blockchains, you don't understand the context of transactions. If there's no real, I would say, very clear regulation around how to look at different transactions, and there's no software to help you aggregate all the data, what eventually happens is that you have lots of data silos and everything is managed on spreadsheets and prone to human error, which is a very, very dangerous thing when it comes to crypto. And we've seen what happens when these things are managed properly. You can see Celsius, you can see FTX, you can see 3 Hours, you can see a bunch of different use cases where these things weren't managed properly. So what we set out to build is a platform that will help you manage all your financials around that. We talked to a bunch of companies and we saw there was a real need. And then we started talking to a bunch of investors. And at the time, because I worked at a VC and I kind of know how investors think and how they look at new companies, we decided not to build a deck, okay, a presentation of explaining what we're actually doing in the company. And we decided to show the value itself. So what we did is we built Figma that demonstrates the value and how the platform will look. And while showing and demoing the product and explaining why this is important and how this works, I think that's what really caught the eyes of investors. And we're very fortunate to add both F2, where I worked before, and Boldstart, who led the round very early on as investors. And then, of course, as you know, when it comes to fundraising, once you have the lead and the kind of the anchor of the round, everyone starts to jump in. So we had lots of investors trying to come in, and we're very fortunate to add Uform Capital, Kinetic, Alchemy Ventures, Circle Ventures, Moonpay Ventures, amazing angels like the founders of Fireblocks and Chainalysis. So we have kind of really the most prominent figures in the blockchain crypto industry join our cap table and bring lots of value as we went along.